away blue buff to just take away Gromp and Wolves, that's actually quite a lot of gold. And I know I said I'd take the trade Zarya last time we had the Corki, so maybe a little bit of a change in the bot lane. We'll have to see.
I would love to see it played, especially by Tribe, because Zarya is one of the main picks that Doom plays, and I think he is currently the best if she does get a good early lead. She is so hard to shut down. Her mobility is just so hard to deal with in general, and also that ultimate, the Death Blossom, is going to be doing some really good AoE damage, but Braum, being in this composition, can actually tank actually the entirety of that ability if he positions properly, and he also has got himself that Unbreakable coming on through. So Braum into Katarina works perfectly fine, but especially is going to be played by Snitch, and we know how good Snitch is on the likes of Aurelion Sol, the Orianna, and also on the Corki, but Katarina, never seen playing before, so I think the mid lane is going to be a very interesting lane to check out.
Yeah, Katarina is absolutely an assassin style, where she isn't spotted. That is basically a free win on the team fight, because there's no way you can stop her, especially when you're playing an Orianna like Ruiz is right now, and even to an extent Ibu, if he burns the Valkyrie early, or if he doesn't have it available, if it's on cooldown, that's where it can really struggle. Especially as well, you consider, when's Braum going to be using the shield? You're going to be looking at things coming in from Doom that maybe he wants a shield. If he has to save it for the Katarina Death Blossom, that is potentially a weakness that they can try and exploit. So we'll have to wait and see just how this Katarina operates in these team fights.
Talking about the Gragas, though, we did talk about this champion getting picked in many roles. Can play him support, Baron lane, mid if you want, even though mid has slowly been starting to fall out of relevancy, but he's going to be played in any jungle position, and his gank is just so strong too. You just got yourself the body slam. You can also pair with the slow onto your barrel. Overall, it is a really strong jungler when it comes down to it. But unfortunately, and you mentioned it earlier here, John, that the wave clear from Shyvana is just so fast, which can easily get ahead, potentially hit that level 5 power spike a little bit prematurely, and win those initial fights. So Shyvana here is going to be in a good spot, but once again, Tribe, they got himself 2 Drakes in a row game 1, and if they're able to do so once again, they should be in another good winning position for this entire game. There you go, Emperor going to be pushing forward. Already started with Sweeper, and you talked about wanting to see them come with some jungle presence and get some vision control, and Emperor starting with Sweeper does exactly that.
Fantastic response from Team Queso, though, knowing that sweeper was coming through, spotting that on the ward. The rotation immediately from Memorize there on the Braum to move on up, as well as the presence from Andrazed, who again is going for another blue buff steal, helped out by the support roaming. Corki, relatively safe when it comes to those AD carries, has that Valkyrie available after hitting level 2. He can sit, get some solo XP, and Memorize can have an impact across the map. And not only that, with the ward from Leon just about to expire, if he times it right, might be able to get a gank on the top lane. No, not quite. Instead, the scuttle will be picked up. However, Corki now, with that free solo XP, will start to level up just a little bit, although Doom seems to be pretty far ahead.
He's going to be in a really good spot overall. I just want to talk... Oh, maybe not, actually. You seem like EB. You talked about the Valkyrie, so it could be good to go. He's going to try and move him back. Doom going to steal away the Honey Fruit. They are going to be looking to proxy farm also a little bit that wave, making sure that they're going to be denying Ibu the chance to maybe stand his ground on that position, though. Doom's taking some severe damage, going to have to move on back. But especially going back to the jungle invade, I think it was really well executed because Shyvana fighting potential early game is not the best, and also Braum, early levels, is one of the strongest supports thanks to his stun also. So I think that was a good idea with the Gragas to go for the invade, try and deny a little bit more CS and XP away from the likes of that Shyvana. So the execution was strong and the timing was perfect. As now into this game, 2 minutes and 30 seconds in. The gold lead is non-existent for none of these teams so far, so we're going to be very close. And we were expecting this going into this match today because these two teams have proven many times that they are part of the top 3 best European teams, at least in my eyes. And of course, coming into this, they're just taking it very slow, and they're rather being really respectful of both sides. So I got to say, I'm enjoying how these two teams have been playing. But the Drake going to be coming up in just the next few minutes, and we know that because the Shyvana is here, that is where we should be hoping to see that first team fight happen.
Andrazed keeping up in gold at the moment with the Shyvana. Actually, a little bit of a lead found just now after the Raptor camp gets taken. And we'll get a little bit more on board. So already a 200 gold lead found for Shyvana, but not super significant. Actually missing the body slam there for Andrazed, which means that he will be on a longer cooldown. And actually with the pressure from Emperor Duck coming through, could be pretty tricky, but the clear from Gragas quite fast into the brush, has got that ward there for the side of Tribe as they go on in, try and smite it away, but it's won out by Andrazed in the end. However, that means that the smite will be on a longer cooldown, might just be back up in time for that Drake.
Should be 20 seconds before he pops up. There's going to be also going for a reset. Gragas is going to be ready to go with that one. A little bit more AP coming to his kit. But though the
Flash
reset's
just
a little
got
bit
burned
slow.
by Doom.
Oh, really? Ooh, okay, that's going to be very important for the next fight. But Tribe actually, they have yet to do their reset. So in terms of itemization, they're going to be a little bit behind, allowing especially the river control to go in favor of Team Queso. And Product and Friend, I'd say they got to go back now, but they have not decided to do so just yet.
Katarina moving down to try and make this a 3 versus 3, but at the moment there's only 2 into the fight.
Ooh.
Ibu over the wall, completely safe right now. Has to sail the dragon on over to try and get out. Glacier Fisher to slow things down as Ruiz comes into the fray. Doom now entering after having coming back from base, and the dragon gets started up by Team Queso. Do they have the presence, the pressure, and the advantage on the health to go for it? I think they might just have it here, as Snitch wants to go into the sidelines. In goes the dagger. Not going to try and over-engage, but in goes Friend. Looking to try and headbutt someone away, get him out of position, but the stun not going to be out in time. Androzed goes 1 for 1 to try and stop the Drake from going through. It's picked up, and they're able to get 2 kills over towards Team Queso in the midst of things.
I'm surprised that Team Queso were not able to win that after how much damage they did initially in that fight, and especially Ibu just poking over the walls, as you stated earlier, doing so much work. And yet they just got completely taken down. I gotta say, Friend initially engaged that fight so well. He just got himself onto 2 valuable targets, went for the pulverize, 2-man knockup, and then allowed the entire team to follow up on that fight. And now they get the Drake, and once again with the Shyvana. That's amazing. That's exactly what you should be doing in those games. So we're going to be looking out for this one. Though one lane we haven't really looked out too much for is going to be Acolyte versus Leon on this Darius and Camille matchup. So far, we're going to be checking out the gold. Darius is going to be up to 4,200 and Leon is going to be also up to 4,200. So they haven't been starting to get involved in these fights, but they're going to be looking in a pretty good matchup as Ruiz got to be careful. Unfortunately, Katarina into an Orianna, it's a pretty tricky matchup for Ruiz, especially now that Snitch is going to be hitting that level 8 power spike.
Yeah, and as well as being able to get those shun pose off, get those resets in, and making sure that their wave clear is very, very strong. Katarina, after a certain point, is just a wave clear machine, especially left in a solo lane. Can be a little bit more tricky to do so in a situation where you're under siege. You can't really clear those waves as well because you have to actually go in and body tank the front line there, and you can't really do that. But in a 1 versus 1 in the side lane, those waves just melt. Beautiful stuff coming through. We'll see what items as well the Katarina opts to go for, because as you say, the Hextech Gunblade coming through early.
Yeah, going to be a Hextech Gunblade of this one. Even though you do have triple AD coming on through for the entirety of Tribe, going for no magic resist, I would say that would be a little bit of a risk, because let's not forget that if she does get ahead, so far Snitch is 1-0 in 1 with his KDA, he's just going to melt you down, so you're going to have to go for some kind of magic resist, or otherwise he's just going to melt through your health bar so easily, as Darius going to be slowly joining up. Acolyte looking to be in a good spot. And here, trying to push the waves, reason why they're trying to get control of the river to try and initiate onto a Herald, which is exactly what Team Queso tend to do. And they see especially that Camille's going to be into the bottom side, so they could be able to take that jungle control. But we've got so much happening, especially Darius in 1v2 in the bottom side.
No. Leon and Acolyte going head-to-head at the moment, and it's doomed to just flash on in, flash forwards, and again another flash burn, a third to go through, but in comes the ultimate. Doom zaps on forward and zips them down. Another turret found, and even if the Herald had been claimed there, it would not have been worth it. 2 towers going to fall in the bot side.
We said it, if Darius falls behind, he's not going to be the most impactful champion in the late game stage. Engage on top of Memorize going to be in a pretty bad spot.
Oh dear, okay, they're going to try and contest this one as well. Emperor Duck leading the charge. The shockwave comes through to try and slow things down, but it's really not going to do too much there, as everybody just falls like dominoes. I don't know what's happening right now, but Team Queso, they're melting in the fondue pot.
It's just Katarina right there. I hate her in my ranked games, and I knew I was going to hate her. Well, if you play against it in competitive, at least. I love watching it, though. She's amazing, and at the end, the Death Blossom was just able to do so much work. It's just not even easy for Team Queso to deal with, despite them having inherently some really good mobility. But Androzed not being in the best of position, he was not able to do the body slam to deny that ultimate away, and Braum was just not in the great position because he got poked down so heavily in the early stage of that fight. Memorize is really the key to denying away a good fight from Snitch. But unfortunately, if he's not in the best and the most healthy of positions, he is going to be struggling to make himself relevant. And that's just going to be making matters even easier for Snitch in the long run. But now next Drake is going to be up in the next 20 seconds. Is going to be, I believe, a Cloud Drake, which is indeed going to be the case. And Cloud Drake is, in my eyes, the second best Drake after the Infernal, because on the map this small, the extra mobility, especially for Shyvana, is going to be detrimental for them to be able to just push around the map and do whatever the hell they want. So Cloud should be up in the next 5 seconds, and the fight might be coming right after that. Oh, then top side, the fight's going to be happening.
Another Hextech ultimatum, and has to zip over the wall, as Androzed was there. So a 2 versus 1. Leon decides against it. Fair enough. You've got the Noxian diplomacy to worry about later on, and it's really not going to do well. That execute is so strong and can melt through you like nothing else. Nobody's business, but just backs away. The wave crashes into the tower and takes the tower anyway. Fantastic situation coming in for Tribe now.
There you go. Easy Drake, not even denied away by Team Queso. They just couldn't do anything. Wow. They're giving so much respect over to Tribe. Maybe a little bit too much. As their wave's going to be crashing on forward. That's going to be also in terms of gold. We're 9 minutes in and the gold lead is already up to just about 10,000 for Tribe. They're looking to repeat this game twice in a row and to take this series 2-0, which would be insanely bad for Queso, as Friend is going to go for the engage.
Alistair jumping on forwards, gets the headbutt pulverized, but not really too much of a follow-up there. Snitch hesitant to move forwards. Doom as well, not really in the midst of things. They didn't have Emperor Duck with them, so fair enough. They don't want to try and go for it, but in comes the Death Blossom, not quite able to finish off Memorize there, but the follow-up from the rest of the team is there. The Shockwave to try and slow things down yet again, but it's just unstoppable. The Tribe train has left the station.
And normally this is the reason why you have Ibu on this Corki, is to be able to be so hard to really lock down and pin down in a position to eliminate him so quickly, and yet he was not able to make it back to that inhibitor in the bottom side. And talking about the bottom lane, here that's going to be also the Herald popped away. I think it was because it was just out of cooldown, so they had to use it eventually. The Baron is just about to spawn, but that's going to force a response now for Team Queso into the bottom side, because they know that eventually the Herald is going to be crashing towards their inhib tower. So they got to be careful and stretched himself between two positions. And Team Queso, with Baron currently available and then being behind, the lead being in favor of the entirety of Tribe, they know that Baron is just around the corner for them to pick up. And also Camille is going to go for split push, but teleport is going to be, is not going to be actually there. Well, I thought it was. She doesn't have TP, so she can't join up on that fight just yet.
But this puts a clock on the fight here, right, Max, for Team Queso. They have to respond to bot lane. Do they try and prioritize getting that Baron when they know that Emperor Duck can just melt that thing like nobody's business? Doom as well with that Blade of the Ruined King. Just absolutely incredible stuff. In they go. Okay, another Death Blossom. But that was a beautiful cast there from Andrazed to try and stop the damage, and it will do just that. In comes Ibu, and now 3 versus 4. 2 players over on the opposite side, getting a kill onto Darius and trying to put pressure on that inhib turret. That's exactly what happens. It falls, and despite them losing pretty much nothing, they are actually going to hold it down and get that kill over towards Acolyte, get that turret down, and that puts further pressure on towards the Baron.
They're just fully playing in their win condition. They know that Acolyte is behind. He can't really do much, especially in 1v2. He's not even a chance of him of being able to take that one because he's so far behind. And they're just able to crack open the tower. And now there's going to have these empowered minions spawning consistently into the bottom side, creating some natural pressure. The Team Queso on a regular basis are going to have to clear. So their focus is going to be stretched between so many different spots, and with the Baron still available, they should not be able to deny it whatsoever, as long as the execution for Tribe is strong enough. So now going to be having another fight of Acolyte versus Leon.
As well as Snitch going in on towards the Braum, but looks like Leon wants to jump away. The ult from Darius, pretty much going to be an execute from that stage, so has to be very, very careful, wants to let that bleed time out. Could be caught out by Ibu, who has got the package available. But no, they don't want to put that pressure there. They know that top lane and the fight is going to be much more important. Leon is going to get caught out here as he has to zip away over the wall, trying to dash through. Ibu, though, puts the pain down and not quite getting the final kill there as Darius comes in to collect the winnings. Are they...
No!
Are they just letting Leon get away with it? We'll have to go over towards Baron as it is going to get started as well. Leon gets away from things. The Death Blossom over the wall. Rue is forced to flash over, but gets taken down immediately by the Shyvana, who's traded off. Explosive cast does the damage. Baron gets the final blow. In come the teleports for both sides as Andrazed flashes away. Leon, having based, having healed, comes on into the fight. Gets one. Ibu, Valkyrie away, but Hextech Ultimatum sees him go down, and now it's Memorized to try and pick things up. But what can Darius do? Leon, very, very low. Again, has the cooldowns, the red buff ticking. Will it be enough? Gets to the honey fruit, gets the heal off, and now one player alive. It's Acolyte. As the Baron is alive, so is the Infernal Drake. Camille going for that top lane turret like nobody's business.
So I got a really big question mark for Doom. We saw Darius teleport in the middle of that fight on, I believe it was on a ward or just one of his teammates. And he's like, I'm just going to stand right next to the TP. And it's a Darius teleporting in. There was only one champion that could teleport in, and he stood right next to it, and he was 1/4 HP. Like, that was an easy one-bow combo to hit for Acolyte, and he just easily got that kill. So, Doom, I'm going to call that a little bit of a brain fart. You know, those happen from time to time. I shall give it to you. But now this is Infernal Drake. And really, I'm going to say if Tribe get this one, which they are, because there's no deny whatsoever happening, that is going to be sealing this game in the hands of Tribe. I do not think Team Queso can make this comeback happen. Also, seen by how much gold they are behind in this game, as Andres is going to get collapsed upon.
Oh, there's no way he gets out of this one alive. Doom just does so much damage. An easy kill there found, and Team Queso down to 4. Are they going to try and throw more bodies at this one? We'll have to wait and see. Snitch still in the mid lane, so a 4 versus 4 until they regroup, which is just about to happen. A backup from Tribe as they fall away. Don't want to get caught out, but Doom actually in a little bit of trouble here. As in goes the Glacial Fissure. The stun procs have started, and out comes the hook. The Apprehend is through. Shockwave as well to slow things down. Doom going very low, flashes away, and Acolyte takes him down. But in the meantime, the rest of his team is just getting decimated. Snitch in the backline is just doing so much. Ruiz goes golden, tries to stop things from going the wrong way, and it might actually be able to succeed for just a moment. But the rest of his team, not so lucky. 2 players alive for Team Queso to try and contest this Baron.
The peeling is not strong enough for Team Queso. They just can't deal for it. The only way for them to survive is to use the stasis and to try and just buy as much time as possible, but even then their damage is just so heavily lacking. There's so many extra items. The power spike has been hit ages ago for Tribe, and they are just gaming at this point. They're going to try and did play it overall pretty respectful in those finishing moments. They did not try and finish off that game because I think that would have been a big throw. So just going to go back to base, and especially without Doom, with their type of composition, it is not going to be easy to take down that Nexus. So they're just going to give it their merry time, as Emperor Duck going to go back for the jungle clear. In terms of itemizations also, we're not going to be having nothing really out of the ordinary, though we are seeing that Gragas here only got 2 items under his belt. So he is definitely not in the position where Gragas is supposed to do some significant damage. So Andre's going to have to body slam his way to safety. And with now taking control of the Baron pit, they are going to clear that one up with a sweeper too. So an Emperor Duck knows as a fact there's no current vision over there. Well, Friend is just going to buy some merry time for his team by zoning everyone away for Queso.
In the meantime, Emperor Duck was starting to solo it. Snitch comes in to pick up the Baron. In goes the Death Ball there, looking to potentially do a little bit there as the Explosive Cast gets the damage down and Alistair falls. So they managed to get a player in Zips Doom to try and finish the deal onto Ibu. Hextech Ultimatum on the chase, and it is a beautiful start to the pickup there for Tribe. Oh, a beautiful stasis coming out from Snitch to block the Death Axe from Darius, but Leon goes a little bit too deep. Will be rezzed up by that Guardian Angel. The minions are there in time, and he just dashes away to safety. Beautiful stuff there coming through from the Team Queso, sorry, from the Tribe top laner.
There you go. And also, thanks to the Baron minions, they were able to actually get themselves that extra tower in top lane. So that's going to be stretching Team Queso even thinner by the second. And they are just trying to buy as much time as possible. But with this type of game, I think we all know here, John, that the comeback is going to be very hard to execute, to say. I think the odds are definitely not in their favor. But Team Queso has shown many times they can make it happen.
They've taken 0 turrets, Max.
Yeah, they got nothing.
This is a disaster. This is an unequivocated disaster. I have to say, for Team Queso, just feels like they've been left in the dust by the Shyvana time and time again.
20,000 gold lead. Well, 19,000 right now. We're making our way up there very, very soon. But yeah, this is just a very unfortunate run of events with a match that was going to be this important for Team Queso to win. If they lose this one, I just believe they're not going to make it into the finals unless they get themselves a bunch of 2-0s in a row. But they already played their most important matches. Now the mid lane's going to get engaged upon.
Oh, this might be the final fight. Max Glacial Fissure to slow things down. A beautiful Shockwave, and actually under turret. This is a lot of damage coming out for Team Queso. The Death Blossom not quite able to finish the job onto Acolyte as he's going to heal up over on the fountain, but the time is ticking for Team Queso. They've lost all their players. The Baron minions were just too much. They could not hold the fort. And with that, Tribe able to take that second victory and win themselves the series.
That Shockwave gimmield. There we go. Katarina, first game in competitive. 8-1-7. I knew she was going to be good, but Snitch he was clinical on that respective pickup.
It was